In the heart of ancient India, a war is brewing, a war that will shape the destiny of an entire civilization and its people. A war of righteousness, of dharma, a war that will decide the fate of the Pandavas and the Kauravas. This is not a tale of mere mortals. This is a tale of warriors, princes, and gods. The sun rises over the sprawling battlefield of Kurukshetra, the air thick with anticipation and fear. The land is teeming with soldiers, their armor glistening in the morning light, their faces hardened with resolve. The clamor of war drums fills the air, its rhythm matching the pounding hearts of the warriors. The sharp clang of weapons being prepared for battle echoes across the field, a grim reminder of the imminent clash. Among them stands our protagonist, Arjuna, the mightiest warrior of the Pandavas. In his mind, Arjuna is not just preparing for a battle, but a test of his courage, his skill, and above all, his dharma. As he gazes across the battlefield, he sees not just enemies, but family. The faces he grew up with, the faces he laughed with, cried with, and shared his life with. These are the faces he must now confront in battle. And so it begins, not with the clash of swords, but with a moral dilemma. A poignant question that will shape the course of the story and the destiny of our protagonist. This is not just a battle of weapons, it is a battle of ideologies. A battle that will force Arjuna to question everything he has been taught, everything he believes in. As he stands there, at the brink of war, Arjuna is faced with a decision that will decide the course of his life and the fate of his people. In this moment of crisis, Arjuna looks to his charioteer, Krishna, a beacon of wisdom in this sea of confusion. As the drums of war continue to beat and the first arrows take flight, Arjuna's journey towards enlightenment begins. And so we delve into the heart of the Bhagavad Gita, into the torment of Arjuna. Imagine standing on the brink of a battle knowing that the faces on the other side belong to the ones you hold dear. The anticipation is overwhelming. You're dressed in full armor, your hand grips the hilt of your sword, and your heart pounds like a war drum in your chest. You look upon the sea of familiar faces, your brothers, your cousins, your own blood, your family. Your heart aches, torn between the duty you have been trained for and the love you harbor for these kin. The then arises, would you still fight? Would you draw your sword against your blood, spill their life for a cause? A moment of silence lingers. It's deafening. The first chapter of the timeless scripture, Bhagavad Gita, tells a similar tale, a tale that revolves around Arjuna, a warrior prince, standing on the precipice of a similar dilemma. The battlefield, called Kurukshetra, is the stage where this internal struggle unfolds. Its soil is a silent witness to the tormenting conflict that engulfs Arjuna's soul. He is caught between the commitment to his role as a warrior and the profound affection he feels for his family. Arjuna, a prince raised to be a mighty warrior, is now filled with doubt. He looks across the battlefield, his eyes clouded with concern and regret. His kin, who he had spent joyful summers with, played childhood games, and shared countless meals, are now his in this moment of deep crisis. He turns to his charioteer Krishna, a figure of guidance and wisdom. His heart heavy, his limbs weak, he drops his bow, and with a tremor in his voice he seeks advice. His plea to Krishna is filled with desolation. "Oh Krishna, how can I fight in this battle against my own kin?" His voice through the battlefield, leaving a haunting silence. The predicament Arjuna faces is not alien to us. His plea echoes the inner conflict we often face when our duties challenge our personal relationships and emotions. It confronts us with the eternal question, do we act out of duty or do we let our emotions dictate our actions? Krishna, the splendid embodiment of divine wisdom and spiritual enlightenment, replies with an air of unruffled serenity, "Arjuna, my dear friend and disciple, why do you allow yourself to be overwhelmed by your emotions? Why do you let them control your thoughts and actions?" He further adds, "Your inner turmoil, this churning whirlpool of confusion and despair, stems from your deep-seated attachment to the ephemeral relationships and desires of this worldly life. You are bound by the shackles of these fleeting emotions." He continues, his voice resonating with an undercurrent of compassion and concern. "Rise above these transient feelings, my dear Arjuna. Elevate yourself over these momentary emotions. Look past your worldly attachments and realize the truth of your existence. Remember inherent nature. You are a warrior. It is your sacred duty, your dharma, to fight for justice, to uphold the righteousness. Embrace your duty selflessly and wholeheartedly." Arjuna, still ensnared in the tumultuous storm of his emotions, is shrouded in a thick haze of doubt and uncertainty. He ponders over Krishna's words, and with a voice heavy with distress, he questions, "But Krishna, my eternal guide, is it not better to renounce this violent struggle of a battle and seek the tranquil realm of peace through meditation and penance? Why must I engage in this gruesome violence? Why must I stain my hands with the blood of my brethren?" Krishna, understanding the depth of Arjuna's conflict, patiently explicates the true essence of duty. His response, laden with profound wisdom, provides us with a profound understanding of the nature of one's duty. He elucidates true renunciation, Arjuna, is not about withdrawing from the world or its responsibilities. It is not about escaping from the battlefield of life. It is about performing your duty, your dharma, selflessly, without becoming attached to the fruits of your actions, without letting the eventual outcome influence your actions. The exchange continues as Arjuna voices his hesitations to engage in combat against those he holds dear, those who are kin, and those who have been his mentors. He grapples with the moral complexities that are inherent in his situation, torn between his familial ties and the duty that he is expected to perform. Krishna, however, is steadfast, sticking to his belief that righteousness must always be upheld, irrespective of the circumstances. He underlines the fact that sometimes it becomes imperative to stand against those you love if it serves the cause of justice. Taking a more profound angle, Krishna reminds Arjuna of the eternal nature of the soul, a metaphysical entity that transcends mortality. He emphasizes the transitory nature of death, painting it as a mere transition, a passage from one state of being to another. The concept of the soul's eternality is a potent one, and Krishna uses it to reassure Arjuna in a bid to assuage his fears of causing harm to his loved ones. The words of Krishna, filled with wisdom and strength, echo within Arjuna, reaching the deepest corners of his heart and soul. They begin to dissipate the fog of doubt that had clouded his mind, bringing him the clarity he was so desperately seeking. With each passing moment, Arjuna's resolution strengthens, fortified by Krishna's persuasive discourse. He feels a shift within himself, a transformation that alters his perspective and strengthens his resolve. He is no longer the hesitant warrior, but a resolute individual ready to embrace his destiny. With this newfound determination, he announces, "Krishna, I will heed your words. I will take up my arms and fulfill my duty without hesitation. I will fight not for victory or glory, but for the greater good." Krishna replies with approbation, "That is the way of the enlightened warrior, Arjuna. Rise and face your destiny with courage and conviction." Arjuna, invigorated by these profound words of wisdom, rises from his seated position. His eyes, now brimming with newfound determination, reflect the resolve of an enlightened warrior, ready to take on the upcoming battle that awaits him. This monumental parting exchange forms the crux of the first chapter of the revered text, the Bhagavad Gita. The scripture, regarded as a sacred fountain of divine wisdom, introduces the reader to profound insights into the nature of duty, detachment, and selflessness. It casts light on the idea that our lives are a series of roles, each with its own set of responsibilities. These obligations are to be fulfilled, irrespective of our personal inclinations or emotional ties. This powerful message is meant to transform our perspective towards our actions and their consequences. The Bhagavad Gita, in its essence, advocates the philosophy of karma yoga. It encourages us to perform our duties with diligence, while staying from the outcomes. This scripture underlines the importance of upholding righteousness, even in the face of adversity. It imparts wisdom on understanding the deathless, eternal nature of the soul, thus alleviating the fear of death. These profound teachings, with their timeless relevance and applicability, continue to act as trailblazers, guiding innumerable seekers on their spiritual odyssey. The words of Krishna serve as a beacon of light, revealing the route to inner tranquility and enlightenment. These timeless teachings continue to guide countless seekers on their spiritual journey, illuminating the path to inner peace and enlightenment.